Freeman is our guest. Behind the scenes, Infowars.com listeners on the streams there. You don't miss anything. We were getting into their symbols and their iconography, the power they believe they draw from this. We're getting into Bohemian Grove, and then I want to get into, you go to the Bohemian Grove, not in Monterey, 60 miles north of San Francisco, but their main lodge, and I've been there, right by the Golden Dome of the City Council, and all that occultism down there. They have images of men in robes with a baby going and throwing it in the fire, carved in by little owls. And, of course, that's in their own yearly handouts and literature the members have. It's really a bull, folks. And so people get confused because they then call it an owl during the ceremony when they're representing it as the female goddess, but then they also go back and then address it as a male. And if you really look at it, it actually looks like a bull. So that confuses people, but that's classic occultism. They might have one idol represent multiple deities or both sides of the same deity. A lot of mumbo jumbo there, but it's just everywhere. Please continue.
And this is how we find out. This is where we go. We have to dig into their works, look at what they're looking at. Now, the owl obviously is a symbol of illumination, a symbol of illuminism. It sees in the dark and can turn its head 360 degrees. So it's really a symbol of illuminism. What we look at when they start to promote to us the different icons and the ideals to us, then they want to set us up for their agenda. And so, like, in the latest current hits, we find, oh shoot, I forgot her name at this moment, but she sings a song about kissing a girl. Many little teenage girls are going around singing about kissing a girl in her cherry lipstick. This gets imprinted into our mind. There's been numerous occasions where this type of programming is being used. So we find it most especially in the pop stars and the pop icons. And so we find that Led Zeppelin followed Aleister Crowley, the Beatles followed Aleister Crowley, the Rolling Stones followed Aleister Crowley, and all of these different lists that you can go down. And then they are instilling mind pattern programming into the children. So you'll find that every song by Kiss is about sex or rape. But yet you wouldn't know this at 10 years old when I was listening to Kiss. I didn't know I was singing about sex. I didn't know what they were programming into me. So we find that they are using these icons, and the icons are mostly willing to be part of this system, like Madonna. Now, Madonna has gone full-blown into her Kabbalistic studies and has now...
And by the way, she admits that. You would say 6, 7, 8 years ago, I would talk about her and all the occult rituals she was doing. You know, we would talk about how the entire, production was a ritual. We get laughed at. Now she says it is.
Exactly. And
so we're right again, as usual.
And she's gone on to take on the name Esther, which is another form of Ishtar, which is back to our same Illuminati goddess here. Now, yes, and she is used in these high-profile rituals.
And by the way, she's always been real healthy. Now she's getting anemic. She's getting real sick. And this stuff also destroys you.
It seems to. I mean, if we're looking at other people in the icon era with Heath Ledger or, Anna Nicole and Brittany and all of them, it's definitely not good for your psyche, but it's also not good for your health. And yes, I'm starting to do a study on the deaths of these occultists because I want to see, are they dying horrible deaths? And most of
Jim Morrison.
Yeah, most of them seem to. Even Manly P. Hall was found hours later after his death with ants crawling in and out of his body. So we do find a lot of these occultists dying horrible deaths. And one such death that I have tracked was the death of Anna Nicole.
All right, stay there. We got a break for 70 seconds, the fourth and final hour on this Friday edition, straight ahead. But we don't stop there. I'll be back live this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central. Freeman is our guest for the rest of the hour. Coming up, we're going to play a few more clips of the impeachment hearings, mix that in. This is big news. We're posting all those up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com right now, as well as articles about it for the latest info. Freeman is our guest for Infowars.com audio stream listeners and PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. We're going to be skipping some of the breaks today. So if you're listening on the web and don't want to miss any of those, be sure and go get on the right stream, Infowars.com. Those are different streams there than the network. Freeman, continue. I want to get into the Masonic information, the messages, and the money, because they believe in great power. That's past. They believe that, commerce is a ritual, so it's added ritual. They believe us carrying it out over and over again adds to it. And so I want to get into why they showed the Pentagon attack, the World Trade Center's attack on the money. I mean, everybody looks at it. People don't even believe us about 9/11 being an inside job. Go, oh my God, that is that. In the series of money that came out the year before the attacks, I want to go through all that, but right now, Disney's been caught with occultism. Like we told you, Madonna was doing rituals. So we told you Britney Spears was, and now they admit they are. Kissing and with the snake and the dancers, and now they admit it. Okay, so see, there's not debating. They admit it, but still, you've been programmed to say it's not real. Same thing with Disney. Same thing with the Mouseketeers. Get into that.
Yes. If now, when we're looking at these genealogies, once again, a few of them might surprise you. Now, as we know, we can't prove much of this with like Hitler's mom being a maid in the Rothschild mansion, right? Well, Disney's bloodline is the same. It's hidden. It's coded. Nobody knows who Disney's dad really is.
Same thing with the Bushes.
And the same with the Bushes and the Pierce, which we'll get to. So when we start to look into the picture, we find that, okay, first of all, Walt Disney was hired by J. Edgar Hoover to instill mind pattern programming into the children. It was an FBI plan. It was instigated. Now,
by the way, that's come out that the FBI was involved with Disney. That's mainline history.
Yes. And we will find it was E.E. Conroy that was the actual officer that got Disney involved. When we come down through it, we find that, of course, Walt Disney World is nothing more than a military-industrial corporation. The whole ride, every show in there, every ride is sponsored by a military corporation. So we've got pretty much their dream, their utopia, as symbolized in Walt Disney World. So now what happens is we've got these lists of Mouseketeers. We've got Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Lindsay Lohan, Justin Timberlake, and then Madonna and Prince and Michael Jackson were also all affiliated with Walt Disney, but not Mouseketeers. And what we find are these 5 people have won the Emmys the last 5 years in a row, or 2 years in a row. This is ridiculous. This is obvious. To me, this is quite obvious. And then what they will do is use these people in high-profile rituals. And so at the Super Bowl, when Janet Jackson had her breast fall out.
She had the sun on it.
She had a sun on it. And this is the hermaphroditic symbol, because the goddess is always shown bearing a breast, and the god is always symbolized as golden sun. So we're back to the hermaphrodite, and that's why they interrelate the god and goddess type.
Male-female. You know.
Exactly, the male and female. And you can see this incorporated in all their architecture, the symbol of Target, the very symbol of the Star of David.
So that was a black magic ritual at the Super Bowl.
Right, using us as the people to watch. Then and of course they believe this gives the spell more power, that everybody's watching, everybody's performing, the same thing Hitler did. So then we come down further and we've got Britney and Madonna and Christina Aguilera. So we've got all the Mouseketeers once again coming down in another high-profile ritual at the MTV Awards. And this is the one where Madonna's dressed as a worshipful master in her top hat and her gloves, her black tuxedo, like a worshipful master of a Freemasonic lodge, coming down the stairs and doing an alchemical wedding with Britney and Christina Aguilera, the 2 Mouseketeers, giving an open mouth kiss to Britney Spears and a closed mouth kiss to Christina Aguilera, which is also symbolic of the left hand and right hand paths of magic.
Yeah, the right hand wasn't as intense, but she gives the wild, passionate left hand path to Britney.
Exactly. And we can find the same symbolism being incorporated in the Temple to the Goddess in Nashville with the Parthenon. You have the goddess with the sprite putting the wreath on her head. I found the same symbolism in the capital of Jackson, Mississippi, with the goddess putting the wreath on. And I can go around and find the same symbolism in Masonic architecture over and over again.
All right, we're going to take this break. We're going to skip the 20 after with Freeman. We need all the time we have with him. Your call straight ahead, 1-800-25-99231. Transmission continues. We'll leave you during the break with a slideshow.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
So Freeman, they have these public rituals, these rock concerts, these Kabbalic rituals. It's all the same stuff. The Super Bowl, bearing the breast, the goddess always and only statues bears one breast, and then they add the sun symbol in with it. A lot of times in the big monuments you see a goddess carrying a standard that has a sun. So it's saying male and female. And if it's fully to the goddess, the sun will be below her, but most of them the sun is above. But it's showing union of those. Now, they did the same thing with the money, because this is the biggest ritual. It's passing hands. It's being worshipped. It's being loved. You'll kill your grandmother, shoot her, and bet on which way she'll fall for this money that they produce, that their power comes from. And during the slideshow, we've been showing... and as it cycles through, you'll see the $5, the $10, the $20s, the hundreds, all the different aspects of the towers on fire, even at the same levels, the collapse, the Pentagon, everything. Break it down for us.
All right. Well, this was an interesting thing for me, and this is where having some foreknowledge of their tactics helps, because now I had predicted the date of 9/11. I had followed through, following the fall of Bill Clinton, the rise of the W, and at that moment knew that 9/11 would be the date that they'd pulled their major terrorist attack. And I told everyone I knew. Unfortunately, I didn't know you. So I didn't have it on here. But I had predicted the day of 9/11.